So after the bus boycott, right, and raised the way I was, and then the comedian Cedric the Entertainer saying it the way that he did, it kind of made me look at life differently. And all he simply said was there was a woman the week before where on a local level the people could have just rallied around her and helped her out on a local level. But until the Kennedys got involved, we didn't get a national platform. And because we had to then make them change the laws across the states, because remember, we were paying to get on the bus back then. And because of the racism, we wouldn't dare get on the bus and not pay, because they might send racist cops and you might die, get hung from a tree. You might get some KKK ass type people dragging you off the bus, right? Because it's a white organization. So we didn't dare not pay getting on, and they wouldn't let you on without paying. The issue was we had to stand up. We had to motherfucking stand up after we just had a hard day's work, just like they did. But Jim Crow laws, right, back then, that's what they said they were. We just thought it was racism, but they coined it Jim Crow. And that meant that they had superiority. And that meant that when they got off work and they got on the bus and one of us black people was sitting in their seat, we had to get the fuck up, right? And locally, nobody did anything. But on a national level, when it became a platform for the Kennedys to use, that's when we got notice. And then we got it to change across 50, I don't know about 52 states. I got to agree with Donald Trump. 2 of y'all was signed after. Because again, I keep saying Patrick Henry, with his transparency, owning slaves, changing heart, began to teach us certain things, right? So like I thought, taught me that the Islamic nation was hired to kill Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, because they were getting too big, right? They were getting notoriety, right? They were past infamy, right? These people might leave a legacy. And they were saying that they were too big. And they didn't want that kind of movement. I was raised that we couldn't vote because we were black. Well, when they freed the slaves, there was more slaves than people. And when they created the barter system and money, they had to get some rules and regulations. And people didn't even want to be honest, pay you for your work. You know, you had to create a system in the court so that the court stepped in. I've always thought that I had these great white people helping me. So in theory, when it came to my argument here in the state of Minnesota, Cindy Atsat, Kim Messon, remember, lawyers were not supposed to be dictating a school day. First and foremost, Joshua R. Williams, 319, 328, my motherfucking teeth, that police brutality case. You owed me $250,000 if you as an attorney, as I hired you privately, not through a pro bono contract, to again negotiate with prepaid medical. I thought I could have been an attorney had I went to school. I thought I had potential, right? I thought that there was somebody in the school district as I was in school getting my motherfucking diploma that recognized me. The other day I said, Don Samuels, you convinced Ann Long to sell my diploma. And when Jim got sick and you took over the school that he ran, your husband, you entered into a contract with district number 1. When you entered into a contract with district number 1, you bought out my records. So my aunts, that's Mary, my mama's sister, and my other aunt Jackie, they said, Sharon, you didn't graduate. And I didn't pick no argument with them, did I? I picked an argument with the education department. I said, send me my diploma. They said, get your records, Sharon. So I got my records, didn't I, Kim Ellison, Jackie Baker, Jim motherfucking Long. I wanted to hurt Ann. I wanted to fuck your wife up as she stood beside Mary, getting married as Dawn was in the house. Dawn Samuels. I thought that, saying I didn't graduate meant that I didn't tutor my child, meant that I didn't have an education, that as a black woman, you can't raise a man, you need a husband, you weren't married, you dropped out of high school. They tried to take my motherfucking education. They even tried to take my cosmetology license. I said these people went above and fucking beyond, tracking my motherfucking records. Now, was it the white people? Did I want at that time all education for everybody? Was I suing on a class action type of situation? Nah, because people didn't want to talk to me, did they? I stood at the school, handing my number out. I was doing above and beyond for the education of my children. I volunteered. The motherfuckers gave me a goddamn award. Sharon, you're the only black parent that's invested in your fucking kids. But Kim Ellison, Jackie Baker, Elizabeth,